Features with Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Landau, and he brings it to you. Creature Features and all creatures and all creatures. And the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you tonight.
Magic! It's in the air. It's even in the water. And it might even be in Tangela's book. But there's also magic in tonight's episode of our show. Welcome to Creature Features. The debonair dude to my right is the fanciful Mr. Livingston. The queenly clever coquette behind us would be my lovely housemate Tangela. And I, of course, am your ambivalently enthusiastic horror host, Vincent Van Dahl. Have we an incredible show for you tonight? First, we'll be joined by the legendary magician, Mr. J. Alexander. He's performed everywhere. Seriously, everywhere. He's even done shows for the Rolling Stones, and he is so skilled at his craft, he's even done a TED Talk on the topic. He'll be here to show some of his better feats, try some of Livingston's tea, and chat with us about tonight's film, which so happens to be The Illusionist from 2006, starring Edward Norton and Jessica Biel. This is a fabulous film.
No, it is not.
It's not a fabulous film?
It is not our film tonight. We are screening The Amazing Mr. X.
Oh no, you're joking, are you not?
Negative. We couldn't afford that other film.
Well, bollocks. So be it. No fresh films for us tonight. We'll just have to make the best of it and hope Mr. Alexander will make up for our lack of movie money by pulling a rabbit out of Livingston's trousers. So don't go away, because it shall be another magical night of I don't even know what this movie is about fright right here on Creature Features. Where'd you come from? Stay tuned.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Micromat, making products that keep your Macintosh running at its best.
Welcome to Creature Features. I am so glad you're here, and I hope you're glad you're here as well, because, you know, you basically turn the dial to see us, so I hope you're happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. But I'm more happy that Jay Alexander's with us. He is like, I'm going to call you the Amazing Jay.
Okay.
Because this man is quite amazing. You're not just a magician, you're like a mentalist.
I'm a magician and mentalist, yes.
No, but you're like the Amazing Jay.
I'm like the Amazing Jay.
No, you are amazing and you are Jay.
You are correct.
Good. So Jay is a magician, mentalist, entertainer from, would you say San Francisco?
From San Francisco. I have a theater. San Francisco.
San Francisco is your base.
Yes.
Right. Good, good. And he's going to show us some tricks, and he's going to talk to us about the film tonight, which happens to be The Amazing Mr. X. Have you seen this one?
I have seen it.
Yeah, I have not. Or at least I don't think I did. Maybe I did once.
It's a great movie.
I never know. All right. So, how's the trip up?
It was good. It was a lot foggy, but it was great.
No, fog is nice.
It is very nice.
And, you know, typically it's a bit sunny out there during this time of year, but I think it's something like when the guests come by, it's like the welcoming moisture, precipitation.
Well, I just felt like it was the fog machines were on, so it felt cool driving up.
Right. No birds?
No birds,
No
not
bird
today.
problems? Good. So how long have you been doing this type of thing?
Started doing this when I was a kid, did it my whole life, and now I have a theater in San Francisco where I do 400 shows a year.
Your own theater?
My own theater, the Marrakesh
goodness.
Magic Theater.
You know, that was I just watched The Prestige.
It's a great
And
show.
it seemed like in that film, these blokes would have their own theaters as well, where it was like their show, and that's all that happened in these theaters.
You would think, but no, they didn't do it that way back then. Yeah,
But that's why you do it.
that's where I do. That's the way I do
That's
it.
the way it should be done. Because it's, it should be the J. Alexander Theater of the Bazaar, right?
Yeah, of course.
No, what's it called?
It's called the Marrakesh Magic Theater, and it was the first Moroccan restaurant in the United States. Was in the space.
Right.
So you walk in, it feels like you're walking inside of a genie bottle, and
No.
yeah, it's an amazing. You walk off the streets of San Francisco, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're in this Moroccan speakeasy.
That's amazing. We'll have to show some photographs of that. But all right, so we're going to watch this film, and when we come back, we're going to talk about you and maybe see a trick or two or 10.
That would be fantastic.
And but let's first get to the amazing Mr. X. You guys stay with us, please.
Why, Chris.
Oh, hello, Janet.
Explain yourself.
Explain what?
Brooding on the balcony. Just isn't being done this season.
I wasn't brooding.
Flying to one's sister's out this season, too.
Strangest thing happened. I thought I heard a man's voice out over the ocean, calling my name.
Next time he calls, ask him if he has a friend for me.
I'm serious.
How can you be serious? It was the wind, or those foghorns.
Perhaps. But it sounded like Paul.
It's been 2 years now, Christine.
I know. But for a moment, out over the ocean, I felt very close to him again. He used to love the ocean, you know, especially at night. He'd go racing down to the beach for a swim, no matter how late it was. And usually I'd be fool enough to go with him.
If any husband of mine ever chased me into the ocean in the middle of the night, I'd shoot him.
He did a lot of crazy things, some of them bad. But I don't think I could ever love another man the way I loved Paul.
Chris, you've got to stop talking like this. You're getting morbid.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, Brat.
It is bad. Look at this dress. You can't wear black when you're going out on a date. Looks as if you were still, well,
Morning?
well, yes.
I just happen to like black, that's all.
I know, but just for tonight, it isn't exactly appropriate. And Chris, don't wear your wedding ring tonight either.
Why not?
It might make it awkward for Martin.
Is Martin going to propose again tonight?
Well, he might. And you can't very well put an engagement ring on your finger if that's already there.
By the way, what kind of a ring has Martin bought for me?
An enormous diamond with... Oh, Chris, you will say yes tonight, won't you?
I suppose I better. Otherwise, he might sue you for breach of promise.
Oh, darling, I'm so excited. And I've got just the right dress all picked out for you. Will you wear it?
Anything you say. And bring out my new ermine, will you?
You know, Chris, I think your cloak with the sequins might look better on you tonight.
I take it you have a date for tonight, too.
As a matter of fact, I have.
All right. I'll wear the sequins, you wear the ermine.
Well, if you insist. Thanks. I like your hair like that. But you could do with a little more lipstick.
And you could do with a little less.
Do you suppose it's Martin?
You know, Martin would never honk the horn at a lady. It's probably your young man. By the way, which young man is it tonight?
It's... You know, I've forgotten.
Have a good time and come home early.
Well, I can't do both.
Then you come home early.
You come home engaged.
Mrs. Faber's residence? Yes, sir. Mrs. Faber. It's Mr. Abbott, ma'am. Thank you, Emily. I'll take it here. Hello, Martin. Don't tell me you're standing me up.
No, it's just that some idiotic client came into the office at the last minute, and well, no, I know it's not serious, but I particularly didn't want to have anything interfere with tonight. Well, no, you see, I wanted to show you that I'm not always the lawyer with his mind on cases and affidavits. No, I'm really the romantic type with my mind on you. Yeah, I thought it was a nice speech. I dreamed it up this afternoon in felony court.
It doesn't matter if we're a little late, Martin. The first act's no good anyway. I'll walk over along the beach to your house, then you won't have to waste the time driving over here.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
But I want to walk over, Martin. I'll enjoy it. Oh, of course it's safe. Now stop talking like an old maid. Goodbye. There's Dorothy down there, ma'am. And you, Emily, stop talking like Martin Abbott. Lock the patio door after me, will you? Good night.
portions of Creature Features are brought to you by the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Explore the mystery at winchestermysteryhouse.com.
Welcome back. We are still watching The Amazing Mr. X, another Richard Carlson film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in so many movies that we've shown. And we are with the amazing Mr. J. Alexander, and he's a magician, and he's a mentalist, and he is an entertainer with his own Marrakesh-style theater.
Marrakesh Magic Theater.
Marrakesh Magic Theater. That's wonderful. So, everyone's watching this program and saying we have not yet seen a trick.
Let's do it.
Let's do a trick.
There we go. Fantastic.
All right, the card trick.
Do me a favor. Take a card. Any card you like.
Any card,
Any card.
I want. All right, I think I got one.
They are all different. If they were the same, this would be stupid.
Am I showing the audience?
Please, go ahead.
All right, you got to close your eyes.
I won't look.
Look away.
Oh, yes, I'm looking away.
See, it's this one. This one. All right, I've memorized it.
Fantastic. Place it back.
Right there.
Do not forget your card. Most magicians do. It's called sleight of hand.
Right.
I'm going to show you something better. Something I call sleight of mouth. On the count of three, name your card. On three. 1, 2.
8 of diamonds.
Oh, wow. Hold on. Oh, wow.
No, it wasn't that one.
Wow. A lot of card.
No.
Wow.
No.
Hold on. Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
One card only. The 8.
Oh, and it's
of
got spittle
diamonds.
on it. So we know it was in his mouth because it has spittle in it.
The scariest thing you'll see all night.
That's
Here you go, a
wonderful.
souvenir.
Why don't you just place it on this, and I
perfect.
shall
It's,
take a close look. It smells like my card as well,
and it
with a bit of
does.
your lunch breath on it as
Yes.
well. That's amazing. So you must go through a lot of cards.
I do.
That's it's all right. I mean, you get like 50 of them for like $10, right?
50 of them?
50 cards.
52 cards for like $2.
Oh, you get 2 extras.
You get extra. There's
in the
bonus.
UK, we've only got 50.
Yeah?
I wonder which one we're missing. Well, we have a queen.
Yeah.
I suppose we've got a king. He's not really a king, though,
No.
is he? Yeah, right. He's just like the queen's husband. Doesn't have a proper title.
Would that make you mad if you were just the queen's husband?
It would. All right, so this film is moving a bit slow, but, I remember this one now, and it was not a bad film. It's almost like a mystery, less horror, right?
Yep.
So what kind of movies do you like?
I think this is a great movie. I like comedy movies.
Comedy movies?
Yes.
What's the last comedy film you saw?
Actually, we just watched Blazing Saddles again.
Oh, my goodness. I have not seen that film since Margaret Thatcher was in office. I have to watch that one again. They couldn't make a movie like that anymore.
No, they couldn't.
No, that would be illegal. Right. That's a great film. We should show that sometime. Livingston, Blazing Saddles, please. All right, what do you say we get back to the amazing blazing Mr. X? And when we come back, we're going to chat some more, maybe see another trick.
That would be great.
All right, off we go, back to the amazing Mr. X. Don't go away, because I can't go away.
I don't blame you for being frightened. You made a decision tonight that angered him, and now you're fighting to sustain it. Well, you have all my hopes fighting with you, madame. I felt you were married. I saw your husband dead and you moving toward a new marriage. But I see I was wrong. Sometimes I am. Good night. And goodbye.
Wait. You weren't mistaken. My husband died 2 years ago.
I felt I could not be wrong. I saw him dead and his car in flames. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't understand how you know all this. I suppose people do talk. Do you live around here?
No, I wish I did live on the ocean. It is my name of where I live.
Alexis, psychic consultant. Oh,
I see you place me in the same category with fortune tellers, snake charmers, and magicians. Oh, well, many people do.
but you must know who I am. How else would you know all these things?
Perhaps because we are very much alike. You and I. Free spirits, both of us. Like my friend here. We like the night, the mist of the ocean. The wind whispers to us and the sand feels cool under our feet. We're not like, oh, I have his name now, like Martin.
There's nothing wrong with Martin.
Of course not. If only he would understand how little he understands.
Well, Martin is very logical.
Yes, that's why you should marry him. Oh, even free spirits have to come in out of the night sometimes and put on their shoes, pay their bills, go to the dentist, and of course, family dinners on Sunday. You really shouldn't be so irritated by his little mannerisms, like when he clears his throat, announcing that he's going to kiss you any minute, or when he counts off all his plans on the tips of his fingers. How? I can't tell you how I know these things. But it hardly matters, does it? Since we're not going to meet again.
Christine? Chris!
Oh, over here, Martin.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Well, you certainly had me scared. What kept you so long?
Well, I was talking to this man. Well, he was here. Could I have imagined him? He was fantastic enough.
Well, let's get going.
Oh, I tore my dress, Martin. I'll have to go back to the house.
All right. We'll go to your house first. Skip the theater, directly to the Blue Angel. What's the matter?
Nothing. It's just that it's so late and I'm a little upset. Could we make it some other night?
Of course.
You sure you understand?
When it concerns you, Christine, there's nothing I don't understand. Here, you better take this off my hands or I'll have to wear it to the office tomorrow.
Fix yourself a drink. I've got to change this torn dress.
Right.
Martin, how flattering.
I should have thought of this in the first place. This is much better than any nightclub.
Yes, and just think, no head waiter, no smoke, no people.
And at the end of the evening, no check.
Oh, Martin, you think in such practical terms.
I'm a very practical man. For instance, I just said that to make you pout. Better to do this.
I've been trapped.
Right. Now, if you'll just step over here to the sofa by the fire.
Another trap?
Definitely. Darling, what's the matter?
That music.
It's just a phonograph.
But we don't have that record.
Of course you do. It was right on top of the cabinet.
That's strange.
What's the matter, Chris?
I'm sorry, but that was Paul's favorite prelude. I've heard him play it 100 times right here in this room. Turn it off, will you?
No, I won't. Look, darling. Paul's been gone too long for you to act like this.
I know.
Chris, I'm not saying this for my sake, but Your whole life's ahead of you. You can't waste it probing into the past. If I can't make you forget Paul, well, find someone else who can.
You're right, Martin. I'm sorry I acted like a child. Would you get me a drink?
Right here, ready for you.
So you think I should go find somebody new?
Only if it's absolutely necessary.
But I've been so out of touch with people lately, especially men.
What do you expect me to do, bring some around?
Well, that would be very nice of you. Only you know how hard it is for me to meet new people.
Well, I can see I'll just have to propose to you.
Oh, Martin, I talked you into it.
You sure did. And very fortunately for you, I just happened to have an engagement ring on me.
Martin, it's lovely.
Can't you hear the ocean call? Come on, Chris. Race you to the beach.
That's when it's a coward.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to the show. Mr. Alexander went to get more tricks, you think?
Perhaps.
Take a phone call from his agent? I'm not sure. But this gives us an opportunity to read our letters and have Tangela do stuff with a creepy doll. What do you got for me, Mr. Livingston?
Oh,
How are you, sir?
creepy is a good word.
It's the creepy baby. She's, she only pulls that thing out when she wants to disturb me. I'm beside myself whenever this thing appears. So how are you, sir?
I'm well, I'm sorry. I'm just making sure this
Did
doesn't
you
come
get some
near
supper
me.
before we started tonight?
Who?
You!
No,
He does not eat enough. I'm trying to get him to eat more.
I don't have time. I have to feed the masses.
Right, no. You have to serve the masses. The cook feeds us. All right, first letter of the night is from Edward T. Does not say from where, maybe? We'll find out. Dear Vincent and all. All is you. I am Vincent. I just want to say thank you for continuing the Creature Features tradition. You're welcome. I'm a fan from way back when it started in 1971. Back then, the movies used to scare me, but now they're an absolute delight, and you're all also a delight to watch. Keep up all the good work you do. You are all very loved. Signed, one of your oldest fans, Edward T. Well, we love you too, Edward, and it's nice to get a letter like this. I hope they're all like this. He's gonna serve me some duds, I bet. Maybe not. Who knows? All right, thanks for writing. Next up, Mr. Livingston. One of these nights, can you just sneak in and dispose of that thing? It's hidden.
I've done it twice and it keeps reappearing.
All right, this is from Gary and Lynn in Glen Ellen. This must be the Glen Ellen that's close to us, right? Where they have the wine.
Yes.
You guys probably grow wine in Glen Ellen. I wonder if a couple bought many acres and decided to name a town after their first names. So it was like Glen and Ellen Stevens. And they said, well, we're going to name this town, and we're going to call it Glen Ellen.
The way your mind works is intriguing.
No, it's logical. I use logic. All right. They start the letter saying, love, love, love your show. And it's all capitalized 3 loves. We never get that. So it's a lovely night tonight.
So they're yelling.
I've never written to a TV show. I guess I never felt compelled to do so. Thanks for carrying on such a love tradition. I think it's especially important in these times. She's talking about the thing.
Perhaps.
All right. Your cast, like a broken leg cast? She's implying with thespians, or they are implying with thespians. Your cast, Tangela and Livingston, are a big part of why we tune in. They're the reason I tune in as well. Because, I could just look in the mirror and see myself, but the only time I could see them without being next to them is on this show, right? This man.
Logical.
He compliments my logic and then he puts it down. Are you actually located in Bodega Bay? Yes. Are you really broadcasting from a large mansion? No. We tape in a large mansion and we broadcast from, it's Coffee TV 20 is like a large building in San Francisco, right? With antennas and aerials on the top and dish.
Well, it's all microwave now.
Like the kind you cook popcorn in?
No.
No, so Coffee TV 20, but we're on other stations as well, so I don't know how they do it, but that's how we do it. And of course, there's YouTube. Don't forget YouTube. I don't even know how that works. We hope you have an open house sometime, and the public will be able to meet and greet you. That's not a bad idea.
It's not a good idea.
No. We could have it would not be like a housewarming party. What's the thing that they do when you're new to a neighborhood? It's like,
welcome wagon?
A welcome wagon. Yeah, you guys could throw a welcome wagon for us. It'd be wonderful.
No.
He has no spirit. He just wants to lock the door and call it done. Once a week he opens it. All right, your fans, Gary and Lynn from Glen Ellen, thank you so much for writing. You guys are wonderful. Any more mail?
No open house. One more.
All right. Last letter is from Tim of Carmel by the Sea. I like that place. And you know what? I like Carmel, but when they call it by the official name, Carmel by the Sea, it makes it sound like a Scottish town. I bet there is a Carmel by the Sea in Scotland. I don't know. All right. Hello from sunny Carmel by the Sea. I love your show. Bob Wilkins would be proud. People tell us that a lot, and I wonder if he would be. I don't know if he'd watch this show. I don't think he'd watch it. Because, he's more intelligent than I am. Bob Wilkins.
His wife watches it?
Oh, that's true. And she's still around. All right. I really think you guys underestimate Tangela. In my humble opinion, she is what makes the show worth watching. With her skull fixations and ugly babies, oh, how coincidental. She makes my Saturday nights a real joy. I believe my affinity with her comes from my late uncle who believed that all of his nieces and nephews were ugly babies. Did you really say that?
Apparently.
To children. He'd call them ugly babies. I like it. Keep up the good work and remember the words of Stephen King. Monsters are real, ghosts are real, they live inside of us, and sometimes they win. Well, thanks for writing, Tim, from Carmel by the Sea, and definitely an ugly baby. That's it.
That's it.
That is it for letters. If you would like to send us one by email, use the address you see down here. If you'd like to send one in the post or a package, but do not please send an ugly baby, use the address you see appearing right here. We'll be right back with Mr. J. Alexander. More tricks, but first let's get back to the amazing Mr. X.
Chris, darling,
Janet,
what happened?
I don't know. The music. Paul.
Let me help you up. Look, darling, you must have had a nightmare. It's all right now. It's over. You're awake, and I'm here.
Janet, it wasn't a dream. The windows blew open.
What's so unusual about a window blowing open?
My engagement ring was gone. The flowers were all with it.
Chris, look.
But the picture. Paul's picture.
You see? Just a bad dream.
I was awake. My wedding gown there in the closet. It came toward me. I swear it did.
It's just your bathrobe. You probably pulled the door open like this, and it flung out like that.
My wedding dress isn't there.
How could it be, Chris? It's been locked in the trunk room for years.
It wasn't a nightmare, I tell you. I saw those things. I think it was Paul, and he doesn't want me to marry.
You've got some feeling that it's not loyal to Paul if you marry again. It's on your conscience, and it makes you dream. Why don't you talk it over with an analyst?
He wouldn't understand. He'd think I was losing my mind. Nobody would understand. Except perhaps Alexis.
Alexis?
Just somebody I once met.
Come on. Get to bed. It's after 3. You haven't got time for any more dreams tonight. Janet, while you're up, would you get me a glass of water?
Thanks.
Janet, I thought I was supposed to be the baby in the family. Here, give me that water. Move over. Baby. Night, Chris.
Right.
Childish, isn't it?
I think the ocean and the fog.
I think you could say that 3 types of people come here to see me. The first, a fairly large group, come here to scoff. And sometimes a few of them remain to pray. The second have child credulous minds. They long to believe. They're tired and sad and need comfort. And all this helps them. It creates an atmosphere. See, a mood like music. And in it they find a few brief moments of comfort which helps them to continue with their gray little lives. And so I do not think it is so childish after all, do you?
And the third group?
The third group is those of us who honestly explore the secrets of the outer world. I feel that you have come here today to join that group.
Well, I did want to talk to you about something.
I know. He was close to you last night. And he's close to you now. But wait. Maybe I should repel him. Not bring him closer.
Why?
His presence is so strong, it might be dangerous.
How could Paul's presence possibly be dangerous to me?
To your plans. You want to get married and lead what is termed a normal life.
But if Paul is trying to reach me, then I want to help him.
Have you thought what people will think? What Martin will think?
I'm not afraid to think as I choose.
Then, Christine, if you have the courage and the will to explore, I will help you. Now relax. Let your mind be free and receptive. Janet, you do have a tendency to dramatize.
Like a child. I tell you, she's been going to see him for weeks, and... Now, do you believe me? She's been reading psychic books, too. And talking about Paul as if he were still alive. It gives me the creeps.
Let's go.
Now, what are we gonna do?
We're going to get a detective, see what he can find out about this spook chaser.
For 20 years, I've been operating among these phony mediums as a private detective. And I've yet to find one concrete bit of evidence of communication with the dead.
But my sister's absolutely convinced. He's told her things he couldn't know, unless he were psychic.
He's probably gone to a lot of trouble to investigate her past. That's thorough and clever.
What I can't understand is Christine falling for such drivel.
You'd be amazed at the people who do.
No thanks.
Now, there's a millionaire right in this town. Wouldn't buy a bag of popcorn without consulting his medium. What's this one's name?
Alexis.
It's a new one on me. Then they change their names often enough. How about a description?
There's a picture of him in this pamphlet he wrote.
This? I used to be a magician. That's how I got into this racket. I know all their tricks. Alexis. I was called to Chicago on a case once. A young man named Maru swindled a society lady out of a whole hatful of money.
That's Alexis. He certainly used to look corny.
If that's Alexis, we can report him to the police.
What charge? He served his stretch, and that's that.
But at least Christine will be through with him. I mean, if we can prove he's a crook.
How can we identify him?
Well, we can go out there and try to get his fingerprints. But I think the only times these fakes are really psychic is when there's a detective around.
And they look in their crystals and see you coming.
Maybe we could send somebody he wouldn't know.
Oh, no, I think that...
Hairstyling for the show is provided by Restoration Hair in Santa Rosa.
Welcome back. We are still watching The Amazing Mr. X, but first our guest, Mr. J. Alexander, the magician, is going to do a trick with Mr. Livingston.
Mr. Livingston, we're going to play a little game, and I thank you so much for volunteering.
I assure you I did not volunteer.
Thank you for your enthusiasm, then. We're going to play a little game, and I've got a fishhook with 3 strings. Now, here's the thing. 2 of the strings are not attached. 1 is attached. In a moment, you're going to grab one of the strings and you're going to yank it as hard as you can. Then you're going to take the other one, yank it as hard as you can. You get to do everything here. I'm going to let you use your intuition on which ones to pull. You see, this is a very dangerous game because this fishhook is going to go into my mouth.
Are you quite sure?
I'm so glad you didn't pick this one.
You, sir, are quite mad.
You're not the first to say so. Thanks for playing.
That was incredible, as always. You know, he's pretty good. So let's get back to the film, and when we come back, we're going to see some more magic and other fun stuff. You guys stay with us.
Your name, please.
Harper. Mrs. Charles Harper.
Not Mrs. Charles G. Harper.
Yes. I mean, no.
Now concentrate, and soon your thoughts will merge with mine. Perhaps both hands would be better. Yes, yes. So much better. I can feel your vibrations much more clearly now. Oh, but your pulse is racing. Are you excited? Nervous?
No.
Oh, but of course, this problem is troubling you. The question you wrote comes to me, but faintly, almost as though it were false. Oh, but another question comes through with all the power and strength of love and truth. You are concerned about someone you love, a woman, your sister. Is it your sister?
Yes.
Older than you, but still you have a maternal, protective feeling about her. In many ways, you are more mature than she.
Golly, I'm glad somebody finally realized that.
Of course, you didn't always feel that way. Once you were jealous of her. You envied her popularity and her pretty clothes, and you used to try them on when she went out. And this suited you because there is an air of maturity and sophistication about you. In many ways, especially intellectually, you are much older than the many young men who admire you.
You know, I'd noticed that.
Does this feel uncomfortable to you?
I think I'll have a cigarette.
Mrs. Harper? Mrs. Harper? May I? An attractive case.
Did you know why I wanted them?
No. Nor do I need to. It is enough for me to know that you wanted them.
Alexis, I hope that nothing you've done to help my sister will get you into trouble with the police. I mean, if they should investigate you or your past life, would they find anything that would make trouble for you?
Well, there are many things in my life of which I'm ashamed. But, and this may sound strange, the memory that I cherish is a term in prison. Oh, there are many brave men who were imprisoned in their fight for science and truth, and I'm proud to be one of them. I think you may be able to understand this. Oh, but anyway, do with this as you think best. I trust you.
Janet.
Oh, hello, Martin.
Did you get the fingerprints?
Yes.
Good.
But I erased them. Oh, Martin, he isn't at all the kind of a man we thought he was.
Thank you. Oh, hello, dear. Did you get the day off?
Not time to. Yeah, Mrs. Favor. No, Mrs. Favor. Getting sick of it.
And how is our client?
She's hooked good.
Good, she is. And does she feel that her beloved husband is close to her?
Surprised she hasn't asked me to lay an extra place at the dinner table. Here's a photograph of her parents. It's in the trunk where I found the wedding dress.
Oh, that will be very useful.
When are you going to put the bite on her?
Oh, Vivian, you put things so crudely. I imagine that very soon Mrs. Faber is going to press money on me to continue my psychic research.
Good. I'm getting sick of this Swedish accent. I need a new role.
Oh, I have a new assignment for you. Straight from the obituary column. A lonely millionaire who... I had no more appointments today. Here. Help me get these things out of the way.
What do you pay for those junks of glass these days?
$3 a piece. It used to be $1.95. You know, somebody ought to do something about this high cost of living.
You should complain. You're selling them for $25 to your psychic students.
I used to. But who am I to fight inflation? I'm charging $50 now. Expensive car. Expensive clothes. I would say no brains and lots of money. So long as you're here, Vivian, you might as well check the car for me. There might be some papers or something in the glove compartment.
Okay.
I'll use a turban in case you find out something.
Hi, Creature Feature. I'm Maria from Oakland. I love you guys. Thank you for what you do. I just really appreciate it, and keep it up. You're awesome. And please try to play more werewolf movies. Thank you.
Portions of Creature Features are brought to you by the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Explore the mystery at winchestermysteryhouse.com.
You know, J. Alexander, amazing magician, this film is trying to set itself up to be a ghost film, and I know for a fact it is not.
It's not.
It's an intrigue mystery type thing. There's no actual ghosts, unless I don't remember it right. Anyways, he was telling me during the break, J. Alexander, magician, our guest tonight, that you did work with the Rolling Stones.
I did 3 U.S. tours. I performed on 3 different U.S. tours. I performed backstage, keeping their VIP guests entertained, doing close-up magic, and just making sure everyone had a great time. Not that they weren't going to have a good time anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
You know, I've never met the Stones.
They're quite nice. It's quite an interesting world that they live in.
I bet it is.
Yes.
No. So when they have VIPs in the back, how many people are we talking about?
It's 50 to 100 people
My
at times.
goodness,
It's fairly
that many
big.
guests?
Yeah, because it's people that have won contests on radio stations.
Oh, all right.
And you've got,
so it's not their guests.
There's more than one backstage. There's backstage area, and then there's this area for VIPs that have, for different reasons, worked at the record labels and
of course.
And so, but in every city there's lots of people.
So how does one get a gig like this?
When Bill Graham was still alive, the concert promoter, he saw me perform and started booking me whenever a band would sell out one of his venues and do band would come to San Francisco, sell at a venue.
Right.
He would hire me to do magic for a little party that he would throw. And I was quite young and started doing that. And then one day the Rolling Stones were in town. He booked me for this party for them. It was a private cruise in the San Francisco Bay. And it was just me and the band and their families. And afterwards, Ron Wood said, "What are you doing later?" Invited me to a party at his hotel room. And then next thing I knew, he said, "Come to the concert the next night." And then said, "Come to LA." And before I knew it, I was doing shows for them.
Magician for the Rolling Stones, here sitting in our guest chair tonight. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I bet you have some stories to tell. I bet you might be able to, like, blackmail these guys with skeletons in their closet. No, I know a lot of older rockers, and they are like family men. It's like there's nothing going on. You think, oh, there's all kinds of craziness backstage, and it's actually quite mellow.
By the time I got to them, it was more mellow than you would have think. And there's days that were crazier than I ever thought as well.
Right. Well, the fans.
Yes.
Winners of the prize. All right, so you got a trick you're going to do.
Here we go.
With like a Rubik's Cube.
It's a Rubik's Cube. Do me a favor. Take the Rubik's Cube, mix it up. Really mix it up as much as you want.
All right, so this is like shuffling a deck of cards if you're a nerdy person, right?
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
I keep doing this, and I think I'm going to solve it for you.
I hope so.
All right, no, I don't want to solve it. All right.
So here's the thing. I have another Rubik's Cube. I'll take it. Now, you've mixed up the Rubik's Cube. Now, here's the thing. 2 Rubik's Cubes. The interesting thing is that when you mixed it up, and I had another Rubik's Cube, they're now 2 perfect matches. That's side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4, side 5, and 6 perfect matches.
That's satanic. I think you're going to frighten some people with these types of tricks.
It's either that or a lot of free time on my hands, one or the other.
No, he's going to teach me this trick when we go to break, maybe.
Absolutely.
I doubt it. He won't. They keep their secrets. They do. All right, let's get back to the film. Back to the film. Amazing Mr. X. You guys stay with us. I think it's going to get better. I could be wrong, though.
This is such a pleasure. I mean, I've heard...
I'd rather not tonight, Martin. Really, I'm much too tired. Well, let's decide about Friday later. Call me tomorrow. Good night.
Will that be all, Mrs. Faber? That's all, Emily. Thanks. Chris, let you and I spend the evening together. If you're tired, we could go to a movie.
Well, actually, I'm busy tonight, Janet. I have an appointment.
Chris, don't see Alexis tonight. Don't see him ever again.
Janet, I thought we agreed not to discuss this.
I'm not attacking Alexis, honest. I think he'd be very good for certain people.
But not for me?
Well, you see, when some people meet a fascinating personality, they're swept right off their feet.
Like me?
Yes. But other people can be more objective, like me. It's true, Chris. In many ways, I'm more mature than you are.
Janet, I have lived through most of your growing pains, and oftentimes you've been insufferable, but tonight...
You see, you can't be objective. You're getting sore just because I'm trying to give you some good advice.
Give me advice, Janet,
It
please.
is good advice. Alexis agrees with me.
Alexis agrees with you.
You see, I've talked to him a few times about your problem. I went to his house.
How did you find him?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. You know, he has one of the most vibrant personalities.
And you came to this conclusion while discussing my problem?
Well, we talked a little about me, too.
Janet, good night. I'll leave you alone with your objectivity.
Alexis, I had to see you. Don't pay any attention to it.
I feel a disturbance. If we are to reach the outer world tonight, we must leave behind us all thoughts that are hostile and on a low emotional level. Now, Janet, this is your first seance. There must be some skepticism in your mind.
Oh, no.
Perhaps only in your subconscious mind, but nevertheless, we shall proceed under test conditions. If you will be good enough to hold this key for me. And Christine, will you tie my wrists together securely?
Oh, there's no need to do that, Alexis. I have every faith in you.
Oh, but I insist, for my own sake.
Here, Chris, you take the key. I'll tie his wrist.
All right, Janet. Start with the right one. Tie one knot in the center. Tightly. That's good. Now tie my hands behind my back. Very tightly. Thank you. Now lock the cabinet so that you know that I cannot possibly move from this chair. Now, Christine, will you switch off the light? The switch is right in behind you. The room must be completely dark. Sit down on the table. And clasp your hands together tightly with the key between your palms. If you see anything at all, do not move around or cry out.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Micromat, making products that keep your Macintosh running at its best.
It's time for a little creature feature magic. This is interactive magic. You're going to have to be part of it. You'll notice that next to me, there are 16 pictures. Half of them are of creature feature films. The other half are black and white stills from those films. What I want you to do is pick one of those black and white pictures. Take your finger, point at it. Fantastic. Now you're going to move left or right to the nearest color poster. Go ahead, do it now. Wonderful. Now you're going to move up or down to the nearest black and white photo. Good. Now this time you're going to move diagonally, either this way or this way, to the nearest poster. Go ahead. I'll wait. Perfect. Now you're going to move one last time. This time you're going to either move down or to the right to a black and white photo. Go ahead, down or right to the nearest black and white photo. Fantastic. Now, I don't know where you started, so there's no way I can know where you began. But keep staring at that photo, and you'll notice everything else fades away because you are on Frankenstein.
I'd sure like to know what's going on in there. If he's staging a seance, it'd be a good opportunity to prove he's a phony.
Let's sneak around back. There may be a window we can look through.
Or climb through.
Doing?
Showing you what a phony this man is. Where's the key?
If you think he's still in here...
What is it? He's quick on his feet, I'll say that for him.
How could he get out when I locked him in?
He could show you if he wanted to. You tie a knot like this. And then?
Martin, this is dreadful.
Yes, it is. I'm afraid I must insist you don't come here again.
Insist? By what right do you insist?
Well, we're engaged.
Even if we were married, I'd think as I pleased. And I won't close my mind to truth just because you don't happen to understand them.
Truth, poppycock. Be logical, Chris. Be logical.
Pardon me, Mr. Abbott. Do you think you could possibly defer your discussion long enough to untie this rope?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alexis. I'll do it.
I happen to understand more about these things than you do. Do you realize that man has a criminal record?
Alexis told us he was once in prison, if that's what you mean.
Sometimes a prison record is something to be proud of.
I'm terribly sorry about this interruption, Alexis. I saw him. I saw Paul.
We will bring him back.
Even if you could bring him back, she'd be better off if he stayed where he is, dead. She never meant anything to him but money.
Martin.
He'd been married and divorced before, each time with cash settlements. If he'd lived, he'd have made you miserable and ended up where he belongs, in jail.
I never thought you'd attack a dead man with lies he can't answer.
Yes, it's in the records. When Martin disappeared, did you or did you not ask me to investigate?
Yes.
Well, in the course of my snooping, I found a second Mrs. Faber, divorced in Las Vegas just 6 months before he married you. I think he went over there to see her. I never could find her, though, and Paul was dead, so...
Seems very strange that if it were true, you didn't find it necessary to tell Mrs. Faber.
Yes, I suppose it is strange. And very silly to try and protect the girl you love. She only runs as fast as she can to another phony like you. Come on, Hoffman, let's get out of here.
Going so soon? I'd hoped we might stay around a while.
You should stay. You'd soon learn what amazing powers Alexis has.
I'm always willing to learn. Perhaps you'd like to resume the seance.
Yes. Under real test conditions.
And have you report me for conducting a seance?
I should say not. He probably could report you now. But if you'll sit down here at this table, and while we all hold hands like real good friends, you can make any of your spirits walk or talk, I think Mr. Hoffman will let it ride this time.
It's ridiculous.
Show them, Alexis.
Yes, Alexis. Do.
I'm afraid under such hostile circumstances, any contact with the spirit world would be practically impossible.
Yeah. I've heard that patter routine before. I know it's easier when you can run around the room in the dark.
Who doesn't run around in the dark? Go on, Alexis. Let them see for themselves what you can do.
Okay, let's go.
You really ought to have an assistant on the premises for tight spots like this.
We checked, you see, to make sure you hadn't.
Shh, he talks so loud.
You mean we'll frighten the ghosts?
Christine.
You see?
Christine.
It's Paul. It's his voice.
I didn't mean to frighten you ever. But I had to get through to you somehow. I've always loved you. You know that.
Yes, Paul.
And if you could only believe, we could be together for always.
There wasn't anybody out there.
20 years, never anything like this.
If everybody will excuse me, this has been a terrible strain.
Come on, Chris. I'll take you home.
What are you so startled about? You're used to raising the dead, aren't you? Although I guess with me it was a little easier, because I'm only legally dead. You know, I've been watching you ever since my widow started coming to you, Alexis. I find your methods quite amusing. Excellent. How do you get out of that rope thing?
Manipulation. But how did
The
you...
cabinet? Just push a button and the idiots reach for their checkbooks.
It isn't quite as simple as all that. There's a lot of psychology involved and research.
Sounds dangerously like work.
However, your bag of tricks can be useful to us in our present plans.
We, have plans?
I didn't help you out tonight just for the fun of it, my friend. I can use you. You see, I need money. A lot of it.
I don't understand. If you went back to Christine, you could have anything you want.
You don't seem to have a very analytical mind.
No, but Christine still loves you. Oh. You mean if you weren't dead, the police might want to know who it was they found burnt to death in your car?
Exactly.
Have I been using the wrong piece of music?
What? Oh, no. You have the right one for Christine. I used this one for my first wife.
Was it her ashes they found in the car?
It was me they found in the car. Don't forget it. Perhaps I should point out that I'm in a very curious position. Since I'm believed dead, I could even kill a man. Nobody'd think of looking for me. You're in a curious position, too, Alexis. You can't tell anybody I'm alive without exposing yourself.
That's right, I can't. It is a very curious position.
And a profitable one. I don't think it's too premature to congratulate you upon an extremely advantageous marriage.
Marriage?
Come, my friend. You must be prepared to make some small sacrifices.
You don't expect me to marry Christine?
No, the little one, Janet. She's still young enough to be dazzled by you. From then on, getting that estate will be like taking candy away from a baby.
I don't think Christine would allow it.
I'll take care of Christine. I'm a little rusty on this one. I'll have to practice. Have this piano tuned, will you?
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back, loves. We are still watching The Amazing Mr. X. Lots of fun, but there's some more fun going on over here with Mr. J. Alexander and Livingston. Check it out.
Thanks, Vincent. Let's try something else.
Must we?
We must. I have 5 different books. Please, pick a book, any book you'd like. Good choice, Mr. Livingston. What's going to happen is in a moment, I'm going to flip through the book just like this. So when I do, I want you to say stop. When you say stop, you look at the top word. Don't say stop yet. Just so you know, all the words are different. If they were the same, this would be stupid. I will look the other way. You say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Look at the top word. Would you like that word or would you like another one?
Another one.
Say stop again.
Stop.
That word or another one?
That word.
Do not forget the word. Think of the word. Say it over and over to yourself. Fantastic. Look at me. You're thinking of an 8-letter word, starts with the letter S as in Sam. Yes or no?
No.
No. What was the word you're thinking of?
Laura.
Laura. Good, because that's what I wrote down. And it does get better. Here we go. Do me a favor. Take another book, same book or different book, doesn't matter. Any book, just take a book. This is what's going to happen. In a moment, I will snap my fingers. When I do, I want you to open the book to any page you would like. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to look. You could take the left page or the right page. I don't care which one. Put your index finger on the top of either page. Good. When I say now, like you're speed reading, you're going to go back and forth, zigzagging all the way down the page. Are you ready? Now, back and forth, back and forth. Good, 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 good. Stop. 3 or 4 lines from the bottom of that page. You might need to take your finger off to see it. Is there a person's name? Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Keep your finger on the first letter of the name. Keep it on the first letter. Good. First letter. Is it an R?
Yes.
Good. Go to the next letter. Second letter. Go to the second letter. Second letter. Second letter. It's an R. Is it an O?
Yes.
Good. Go to the next letter. It's an R and O. It's another O? No. Your finger's not all the way on it. Keep your finger on it, Mr. Livingston. Good. It's a B. Yes?
Yes.
Good. Go to the next letter. Rub it back and forth. Good. It's an E, an R, a T. Are you thinking of the name Robert?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for playing, Mr. Livingston. And that, my friends, is magic of the mind.
You know, he is absolutely incredible. I think he should have his own television program as well. Anyways, let's get back to the amazing Mr. X, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more with Mr. J. Alexander. Don't you dare go away.
Thank you, Emily.
Oh, no, ma'am, not for you. Not after the night you've been having. Yes, that's for you.
Hot milk?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd rather have the coffee.
I'll see that she drinks it, Emily.
All right, I'll take it, but it won't do any good.
You should really try and get more sleep, Christine.
But I just can't. I'm never alone anymore. I keep hearing his voice now and seeing his face. It should comfort me, I suppose, but it's been frightening.
Drink your milk while it's hot. It'll help.
Alexis, do you suppose we've made a mistake? That first day when I came to your house, you said it might be better to repel Paul's spirit instead of bringing it closer. Perhaps you were right.
Perhaps I was right.
Then would it be better to try to break the contact now and not go...
It's too late. At this stage, I could never break the contact. We'll have to finish what we started.
If it would only bring me rest. Well, let's begin the seance now.
I think that before we start, you should relax. And I should be more familiar with the surroundings. It is very difficult for me in a strange house. Perhaps if I walked around the outside for a while...
I'll show you. We can even go to the ocean.
Go ahead, Janet. I'm feeling rather tired.
Watch your step. It's awfully steep. You know, I think I have talent along spirit lines.
You do?
Yes, I've been reading and studying. I think maybe I'm mediumistic. You know that seance we had at your house when Paul appeared?
Yeah.
Was that Paul's first visitation? Alexis.
Oh, yes, it was.
You see, maybe it's because I was there, all tuned in and sensitive. Well, it could be. Did you ever see a better spirit manifestation?
No, darling. That was an all-time record.
Are you thinking about my sister?
Yeah.
She's very attractive, isn't she? Most men admire Chris.
But Christine will always belong to Paul.
I suppose that's true. I wish you wouldn't be so unhappy. Do you suppose they'll be joined together someday in celestial companionship through all eternity, like it says in the books?
Yes, I'm sure they will.
Alexis, do you think I'd make a good celestial companion?
Darling, I think you'd be wonderful.
And we'd love each other through all eternity?
Oh, even longer.
Alexis, why don't we start right here on the Earth plane?
I've come for you, dear. Hurry, Chris.
Paul, wait. I'm frightened.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Paul, I'm afraid.
Race you to the beach.
Last one is a coward.
Alexis, she's not badly hurt. She's all right.
I think she's all right. What are you doing here? Well, at the moment I'm opening the door, but not very wide.
You're not exactly welcome here. Where's Emily?
It's Thursday, Mr. Abbott.
Her day off.
Where's Frida? Frida left yesterday. She said she thought the house was haunted.
I can see what she means. I want to talk to Mrs. Faber.
I don't think she wants to talk to you.
Janet. Where's Chris?
She's in bed.
She's making herself ill with this morbid nonsense.
Oh, it isn't bad. Chris had a fall last night on the cliff. She might have killed herself if Alexis hadn't caught her.
What was she doing on the cliff?
Well, she thought she heard Paul calling.
Janet.
We'll always be together, Chris. Together. Always.
Miss Paul.
You'll always be mine, Chris.
Chris, I'm waiting. We'll be together. Together, always.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned. Hairstyling for the show was provided by Restoration Hair in Santa Rosa.
What'd the doctor say?
Chris wouldn't have a doctor.
You've got to be logical about this.
She's not badly hurt. She's just bruised and shaken.
In the first place, she's in a state of hysteria. In the second place, she shouldn't be in this house. Everything in it reminds her of Paul. And finally, she shouldn't be left alone for 1 second. There's no telling what she might do.
But I'm with her all the time. I haven't left her. Chris! Martin! Chris.
Martin.
Chris, are you all right?
Yes, of course.
What's in that bottle?
It's just aspirin. I've got a headache.
Chris, it's dangerous for you to stay here. You need rest and care, perhaps in a hospital.
You're trying to separate us. I won't go to a hospital. I won't leave this house.
Only until you're better.
No. You're trying to drive him away again. Now get out. Get out.
I'll leave before I upset her anymore.
I'll see you to the door, Martin.
They've left the room.
Then you can resume the treatment.
If you hadn't tried to play the hero last night, all this wouldn't be necessary.
I had to save Janet, didn't I?
You're not falling in love with her, are you?
Look, if I'm going to marry into this estate, there's got to be somebody for me to marry.
Just by way of making conversation, that wife of mine in Las Vegas, the one who tried to back out on me and wanted her cash settlement back, I settled with her, but not for cash. Now, if you should back out on me, I wouldn't hesitate to settle with you either, Alexis.
I know, because you're in such a curious position.
Oh. I'm back.
How long, Chris? How long must I wait? Janet, get out of here.
Why didn't you tell me you wanted money that badly? I'd have given it to you just to get rid. Paul!
Yes, I'm alive. Legally, I'm dead, and I'm going to stay that way. But if you're alive, I won't be able to. It's too bad you came down here, Janet. Janet, run!
I'm ready to get me Bradshaw 7425. Martin, this is... Martin!
Operator.
Chris, wake up! Can't explain. Quick, we'll take the back stairs.
You forgot, Paul. My profession is raising the dead.
You're losing quite a bit of blood, aren't you, Alexis?
Spirits don't need any blood. Do you think bullets can harm us ghosts? Those were your last 2 shots.
The police are here, my friend. Your gun is empty. But at least you have been privileged to witness my best performance.
You made one little mistake. I started with 7 shells. I have 1 in the chamber.
Alexis, you were wonderful.
I guess there must be a better side to my nature. But now you must forget me.
No, never.
I don't need a crystal to see that your future is bright, Janet. Don't you go clinging to the past. I lived by feeding people's desire to escape the present. But you can't escape for long.
Alexis, I'm afraid for you.
I'll be all right. I'll find some spirits that want to contact people. Open the window, Janet, please. Fly away, my friend. I won't need you anymore.
And that rolls the credits on tonight's film, The Amazing Mr. X. You know, I knew it was going to end this way.
Did you?
It was so obvious.
The crow flying away and everything.
You know, I did not recall the crow part. But,
No.
We have them flying around here all the time, so I was not too surprised that would happen either. All right, so we're still with Jay Alexander, amazing magician and mentalist, and you've got another trick
I do.
up your sleeve.
Here we go. I want you to do me a favor. Think of, I'm going to need 6 numbers between 1 and 60. Think of a number between 1 and 60, any number you like.
Between 1 and 60?
60, yes.
Any number between 1 and 60, and just think and not tell you.
No, tell me, it's okay.
Tell you?
Yeah.
All right. 32.
32. It's exactly what I would have said. Livingston, give me a number between 1 and 60. Any number you like.
59.
59. Give me another number.
Another one. Let's do 13.
13, a great number. Please give me a number.
2.
2, number 2. So we have 32, 59, 13, and then it'd be 0, 2. And you'll see why in a moment. Give me another number.
18.
18. And another number.
12.
12. 32, 59, 13, 0, 2, 18, and 12. 6 random numbers. Or is it? Hold that if you will, please. Underneath my foot, you will notice there is a little blue box. Inside of this little blue box, there is 1 lottery ticket. And you'll notice on the ticket, you can go ahead, take a look, read out the numbers.
You know, if this is going to be what I think it's going to be, you and I are going to the liquor store tonight.
You'll see.
No way.
Say it out loud.
02.
02.
13. 18. 32. 59.
And there should be a Powerball number.
A Powerball number. Which one's a Powerball number?
Underneath your right thumb.
I don't see it.
On the very end.
All right, Power 12?
Yes.
Is that it? Power 12.
And Power 12. I'll take a look. Let me see. And that is the number. 02, 13, 18, 32, 59, and 12. A real lottery ticket.
All right, you need to go home. I think it's time for you to go. I think it's time for you to go. So, anyways, how do we learn more about you?
You go to SanFranciscoMagicTheater.com.
SanFranciscoMagicTheater.com, and people can go to the website and learn about you. They can see some of your videos.
Yes.
And they can learn about the theater and where you're going to be next, right?
I'm there 400 shows a year.
You freak out people 400 times a year.
I sure do.
And you just did like 401 this time. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jay. You are the amazing Jay. I think that should be your new name because
now
you are
on.
the Amazing Jay.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll see you next time. And as far as you guys go, next week we've got a super amazing guest. I have no idea who it is. We're going to have a wonderful film, and I don't know what it is. What is the film next week?
I'm not sure.
Let's try to get Planet of the Apes. I like that one.
I'll see what I can do for you.
All right. Planet of the Apes. Maybe. No. Probably won't get it. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you in 7 days. So, Jay.
Yes.
This trick with the lottery tickets. You know, I would pay you a very large sum of money to learn how to do that trick.
Can you keep a secret?
Of course.
So can I.